Hi, I'm Kate. I'm the founder and director of Skinography Skin Studio. So the microbiome is fascinating, and I'm a bit of a skin nerd when it comes to this topic. The skin's microbiome is this beautiful little ecosystem that we have on our skin that's teeming with different organisms that are microscopic, things like bacterium and fungi and different types of yeasts that help to create our beautiful protective barrier. Everybody has a different combination of different bacteria and little organisms that are sitting on the skin. So your biome is part of the natural defense force of the skin. But essentially what it does is that there are certain types of bacteria that thrive. So for example, we've got the P. acne bacteria. And your P. acne bacteria is responsible for the conversion of the sebum that our skin produces. So that is a triglyceride as part of our sebum, but it's actually an alkaline. So when our oil is being produced in our skin, it's an alkaline, which means that we need the process of that P. acne bacteria to basically ingest that and then excrete free fatty acids onto the skin to help to create our natural acid mantles. So by having a healthy microbiome full of those little bacterium and all sorts of amazing little organisms, we then are able to create that part of that protection, because essentially that's what it is. It's a little community of amazing little organisms that help to create that beautiful protective function of the skin. Essentially, like, that's the foundation of what a good, healthy microbiome is. A healthy microbiome essentially looks like a happy, healthy skin. So when you have a healthy microbiome, it means that your skin is watertight, your skin's at homeostasis, you don't see any signs of any redness or inflammation or reactivity. So when you're using ingredients on the skin that are potentially active, they're sitting on the surface and they shouldn't be going into where they shouldn't be going if you have a leaky house. So when your skin is in disbalance or imbalance, that's when you start to see ingredients penetrating into the skin that create an inflammatory response. And that's basically, it creates premature aging a lot faster because you don't have that waterproof layer and you don't have that nice healthy protective barrier. So as part of that, your microbiome it just gives you that dewy, juicy, plump, beautiful, no redness, just this really happy, healthy skin. An unhealthy microbiome is one that presents with quite a responsive type of skin, so lots of pinkness, dryness, lots of dehydration, and can at some points actually have skin disorders like rosacea and acne. We have gone through decades in the industry where we've been trained to basically decimate the skin from an acidic perspective by using all these different types of acids and all of these incredibly stripping products that basically completely decimate the natural bacteria and our natural protective function of our skin. So what we're finding now is that by supporting the skin's natural microbiome, we're seeing a really happy, healthy skin. We're seeing a massive reduction in pre-aging because we've got a really nice waterproof layer on the skin, so we're keeping all the good stuff in and we're preventing all basically the negative and harmful bacteria from settling and proliferating on the surface of the skin. So it actually can help with things like acne and different types of inflammatory skin conditions like rosaceas as well. Your P. acne bacteria are these fascinating little bacteria because they're anaerobic, which means that they can survive in an environment with or without oxygen. So when you're using stripping ingredients on the skin and basically removing that P. acne bacteria's food source, they will then go into the pilosebaceous unit, which is where those little oil glands are made. So your pilosebaceous unit is basically your little hair follicle. So those little P. acne bacteria will go into that little pilosebaceous unit, and they've just discovered the skin buffet because that's where their food source is made. So they multiply like crazy, and that's when you start feeling that inflammatory response. Almost like you can feel that little bit of glass underneath the skin before that big cystic pimple comes up. And that's caused by a barrier disorder. So if you're not stripping the skin and you've got a healthy microbiome, it's basically a way to help prevent the formation of acne. An unbalanced microbiome is caused by a variety of different factors, mainly stripping the skin. In our industry, we've really been focused on stripping the skin with lots of foaming cleansers and very harsh exfoliation methods, things like microdermabrasion and peels and things. They're a massively detrimental approach to healthy skin. We're finding that we actually don't need to do much exfoliation on the skin at all because it has these beautiful naturally occurring enzymes that does that job for us. So if we've got a nice, happy, healthy protective barrier and happy, healthy microbiome, those little enzymes that are naturally occurring in the skin do their job beautifully without us having to do any major exfoliation. When you have an unhealthy microbiome, you basically have a bit of a leaky house going on. So what we want to do is help to repair that by using incredible like postbiotics and prebiotics, ceramides, and all these amazing, beautiful natural oils to create this insulation on the skin to help repair so that you don't have an inflammatory response in the skin and you don't have dryness and dehydration because you've got this nice, strong, healthy, protected skin.